guys don't believe in God?
No, I'm an atheist.
Do you believe in creation?
Creation by what?
Well, just creation in general.
No, that don't make sense. Creation by what?
Well, how do we get here?
No science?
Yeah, I would suggest if you have questions about that to go to a library, which I did 30 years ago. When
I don't have questions. I know I was created by God.
How do you know? How do you know
Well,
God
we don't
did
need
it?
to talk, then.
Well, how do you explain? No, let's do talk, though. I think it's fair to talk.
You demonstrate to me something supernatural, like Jesus told you clearly to do. You will do greater works than I did because I go to the Father. So you have to demonstrate God to me. How can you demonstrate something supernatural?
All right, I'm gonna do two things. Can I do two things real quick?
You have to do it. I can quote the Bible.
I will. No. I'm gonna do two things.
Okay.
All right. One, I believe in intelligent design
Yeah.
because everything on this earth, even ourselves, we can go down to the smallest measurement of a pentometer, right? The tiniest little measurement of an atom, and that's still right into place, as well as the entire scope of the universe, which is billions and billions and trillions of atoms. So how is it down to the tiny little detail, everything makes sense and is in order? Hold on, sir. Everything makes sense is in order, but it wasn't intelligent design. And then one more thing, and then I'm going to give you the mic. If you're walking through the forest, all right, you're walking through the woods, right? You see trees and everything. No, it's fine. This is my belief. I understand it. No, it's all right. It's fine. It's my opinion. You have your opinion. Everyone has an opinion.
Evidence, but you're giving an opinion.
So, and that's fine. Let me say one more thing. If you're walking through the woods, all right, there's trees, it's just the woods, okay, and then all of a sudden the Mona Lisa is on one of the trees and it's standing there. Do you think the Mona Lisa was put there, or do you think it organically showed up?
Has that ever happened that you know of?
Yeah, humans on Earth. We're the Mona Lisa in the woods.
Through the woods and saw the Mona Lisa in the woods?
Yeah, I'm saying that's the analogy for
Have you
us.
ever seen that happen?
No, I don't believe
Have you ever
so.
known anybody who's seen that happen?
No.
Then let's talk about real things and not fake things.
Okay.
Reality.
Let's talk about reality. Let's talk about what you can prove. You ain't proved nothing.
have
You've
to
given a bunch of
demonstrate.
opinions.
Well, you can't prove that God doesn't
I
exist.
don't have to.
We don't have
I don't
to.
have to.
Well, then why do I have to prove?
It's because y'all are the ones that say there is a creator of everything. Just prove that to me.
Burden of proof is on you. You're making the claim.
You're
I'm
making
saying
the claim.
prove it.
Absolutely.
Do what Jesus said.
We're not
Give
saying
demonstration.
we want to prove that there's not a creator.
So your existence isn't enough?
You're going
No,
right
it's
back
not
to the
enough.
ontological
Because
argument from
that can be more proven and better proven through scientific methods than it can be by fairy tales and your opinion.
So you believe we evolved from monkeys?
No.
Doesn't
no.
say that.
We didn't
So
evolve.
you see that science doesn't say that.
Never says we evolved.
We have a common
Go read the
ancestor,
book
not
like I
evolved.
did.
There's a common ancestor. Doesn't say we
Go
evolved.
read a book of
So like I
evolution for
said,
dummies, like I did 30 years
I
ago.
understand what you want
I'm
to
not a
do,
scientist.
but it's not going to work.
Show me something.
Show me
I'm
proof.
a former preacher. When I was your age, I know the Bible. I know that you have to demonstrate God. Lay hands on the sick, they will recover. That's a true sign of a true believer. Mark chapter 16. James chapter 3. Is there any sick among you? Call for the elders of the church. They will anoint the sick with oil, and the prayer of faith will save the sick among you. Do that. Why do you go to a doctor? Why do you trust science and not God? So if you can give me something supernatural other than
Well, our bodies do heal themselves too.
Yeah, of course, but that's what
Our
the
bodies
Bible
also
says.
attack themselves.
The Bible
Autoimmune
says
diseases.
you don't need
Why do our bodies
need
attack
science. You
themselves?
need God.
Why would? Let me ask you this: why would you consider yourself an atheist and not an agnostic?
Because to my knowledge, okay, and to the scientific knowledge, there's minuscule amount of anything supernatural, any kind of evidence. To my knowledge, there is no God, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay, I would
So
say,
there is a little agnostic in you.
of course, yeah, sure. I'm not 100% true unless you can prove it. I'll believe anything.
99.9% I'm atheist.
Yeah.
That other 0.1%, who knows?
Give me
but
some
until I get real evidence and not people's, oh, this happened to me one day, or my grandfather told me this. He had some sort of spiritual experience. That's not proof. Show me some real scientific proof. Absolutely. Somebody shows me real scientific proof that can be proven through the scientific
It'll probably never exist, though.
Well, I mean,
Why
that's
not?
that's perfect for y'all, though, right? For people.
Well,
who
here's
believe.
my thing. I'm not here trying to convert anyone. Trust me. I'm not a preacher. I'm not.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to reach out to other atheists and let them know that we're here.
I'll agree with that.
and we
No.
know this.
To the most point, I mean, I don't think we should remove God because I believe that having the belief that we were created and we're divine is important for humanity. But I agree.
That's okay, but no, that's okay.
Okay, but
Absolutely, that's okay. And I'm not trying to take away your religion or anybody else's religion. Nobody's. I'm not trying to take away your church, but I'm absolutely saying keep your church out of this.
Yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to keep it separate.
I'm
You have a
okay
right
with
to
that.
believe.
See, my big issue, and this is kind of, I think it's along the same lines. I'm not trying to be religious with this, but like the government funds Planned Parenthood, right? I'm not even going to make a political point here. I'm just saying the government should not be funding Planned Parenthood just like they shouldn't be funding churches per se. And Planned Parenthood gives millions of dollars to the Democrat Party every year. So they're basically laundering taxpayer dollars.
Well, I don't know if that's true, but
I promise you it's true.
I'm not saying that it's not or it is. I don't know because I haven't looked into it. If it's true, if our government funds Planned Parenthood and then Planned Parenthood turns around and gives that money back to the Democratic Party, they shouldn't, and that should be stopped.
Absolutely. I agree. I'm actually having a march on November 10th to raise awareness for this.
But I think we should fund Planned Parenthood because it's about women's health and women's...
With tax dollars?
Yeah, tax dollars. We fund Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security is partly funded by the government.
So you're okay. So you're okay if government funds abortion? That's okay with you?
Well, I'm not pro-abortion, but I'm pro-choice because if we take that away from women, who gets to make that choice? Men?
See, I think that's a fair political point.
Okay. So I do. I'm not pro-abortion. I'm pro-choice.
So basically, you have a right to believe. I'm not trying to take away any Christian's right to believe whatever. I just want to keep that stuff out of government, out of the science classrooms. Everybody has the right. Congress shall make no law respecting savage.
Okay, so you want evolution taught, but let me ask you this: do you want
teach it in your private Christian schools, your patriarchal schools, but don't put it in public schools? Because what about Muslims?
You mean I'm talking about evolution? You're saying don't put evolution?
Evolution should be taught in public schools because it is scientific and it's a
Overwhelming.
theory,
Yeah.
and there's actual scientific evidence, and it's science. I mean, we should teach science.
All right, final question.
Yeah, go ahead. Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
Okay, we are out here mainly, number one, to normalize atheism. Because the Christian right, not all believers, a lot of progressive Christians would agree with us, but many people still believe they have this stereotype that we atheists are immoral.
I'm actually glad you're saying this.
Okay, we're trying to normalize it and get along with people, but without compromising, because I don't compromise with any biblical faith belief, but I'm still nice to people, right?
No, I think this is actually a very important point. In fact, that's why I'm out here wearing this hat, because a lot of people try to normalize me because of this hat, just like people try to put you guys in a box because you're an atheist. And this is actually a problem because I host a radio show, and a lot of people think that I am anti-atheist and I think you guys are immoral. That's not what I think. I think atheists are great people, and I think it's actually important, whatever our beliefs are, that we can all agree that we need to have some sense of morals, right?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah. Absolutely. Now, whether you think your morals come from God and that's where you get yours, I don't believe that, but that's okay. I believe that my morals are based on humanity and being good to individuals and humans. I am a humanist, but I'm glad that you get your morals there and that you have them, because we all do need morals, and integrity.
The Bible clearly says, and that's what I talk to believers all the time, being a former Christian preacher, is Romans chapter 1, and there are different scriptures in the Bible that give a description of those who do not believe in God. Pretty horrible, and they're lies. It tells you, if you read Romans chapter 1, that we are out there killing, we have no morals, we're swift to shed blood, we lie, we have deception, and it's just not true. We're not like that. So some people believe that. They never met anybody like us.
No, I think it's good for you guys to be out here doing that, because there are people that are non-believers in that listen and they say, "Hey, why are you bashing atheists?" That was never my intent, just because I have faith. So I think it's good that you're out here doing this. Final question: do you think that "under God" should be removed from the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes.
Yep. Original Pledge of Allegiance did not say "under God."
It was inserted sometime in the 50s, and I think that it should be gone because I am as patriotic as you can believe. I mean, I'm the most.
Hey, you're out here executing your free speech.
And so I say the Pledge of Allegiance. I put my hand over my heart, and that's just about respect. But yes, absolutely. Yeah. In God we trust. It should be gone.
Saying God I trust.
Now here's the thing. See, I like this conversation because the average person would be like, "Oh my gosh, a guy in a Trump hat against an atheist," it'd be like, it's going to be like they can't get along. No. We can get along just fine, and we can debate and we can have different opinions, but we're all brothers in the end. So hey, thank you guys. Owen Shroyer from Infowars.com. Yes, sir. Well, we're live right now on Twitter, and then we're going to put it up later at Infowars.com. Yeah. All right, guys. Awesome.
We're from the atheist
community of
Austin.
Austin.
Oh, here you go. We represent the atheist community of Austin, and we're out here doing that.
You guys are some of the best people I've ever talked to. Most people come out here and try to hate on me. You want to say something?
Yeah. So I grew up in the church, and I'm a natural questioner. Okay. I ask questions. I'm full of doubts, as any man, woman, and I like to ask questions constantly. The one thing that I will pray for the two of you for is that faith like a mustard seed, even that little shred of the 0.01% that you're open to the possibility of God, I would ask that you would at least be open to that and maybe maybe explain to me, since you have read the Bible, what you think that metaphor
I
represents.
did more than read the Bible.
Okay.
I preached for years. I'm 61 years old. Back in the 70s and 80s, I was born and raised in a pastor's home. I was born again. I started 2 churches. I traveled, did evangelism. I've done the Jesus stuff. I'm 10 times more moral, much happier, have more love, compassion, empathy, and sympathy for humanity now as an atheist.
Okay.
So I've been there and I've done that. I've walked the Jesus walk, and it was nothing more than all in my head.
Okay.
So as far as faith, I've been there, done
we
that.
don't need it.
We don't need it. Even if God existed, I'm so much happier, more moral now. It's humanism.
Faith is
Secular
what?
humanism.
Faith is simply
We've been
belief in something because somebody else told you to believe in it. Have faith. That's exactly what that means. Believe it because I told you to believe it. It'll never happen.
11:1.
It'll
Faith
never
is
happen.
the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. That's your evidence. There's more than that's not evidence, right? Faith.
But it's okay if you have it.
And if you want faith, I'm not trying to take that away from you, but you don't have to. It's a wonderful life outside of that.
Right.
Actually, I have a better life. It's a good life. All right.
Thank you for your
See, I'm still a preacher.
I like you guys. You guys have good debates. Here, let's get your website here one more time for people that are interested. There it is.
And what else?
There it is, man.
I'm the Preaching Humanist on YouTube. The Preaching Humanist, yeah.
And then we have
They're going to ban you.
the
Oh,
Atheist Roundtable.
and the Atheist Roundtable.
Atheist Roundtable, also on YouTube. So
Don't ban me, bro.
don't ban me, bro.
We got banned.
I know. I saw that. Twitter, YouTube. Yeah, I saw it, man. I don't
Well,
know.
hey, you guys rock. Thanks for coming out here and having a spirited debate. That's what it's all about. That's what I love. All right, you too. All right, we're on the move now. I'm telling you, folks, seriously, I enjoy debates. I like people that believe in what they stand for and can actually talk about it and have a coherent conversation, which is refreshing for me because people know, like, normally when I go out and I do this stuff, you know, I'm talking to some Trump hater or something at a protest, and it's like, racist, bigot, Nazi. It's like, hey, look, I've been atheist before. I've been agnostic before. I even went through a time in my life when I was a nihilist, and I've got beliefs. They have, you know, beliefs in science and stuff, but it's fun to me to debate and to share ideas like this, because how are you ever going to expand your mind? How are you ever going to expand your consciousness if you're stuck on one thought process? Even if nothing they said to me sank in, or I don't really care to think further about anything they said, at least I heard it. At least it went into my head and I had to respond and I had to think, and it forced me to challenge whatever ideas that they were putting out there. So I just wish there was more of that, and because of the hyper politicization of, you know, the discourse in this country right now over politics, it's almost impossible to have a civil debate where you would assume, like, oh my gosh, a Trump hat is going to an atheist, like that's going to be bad, and it ended up being just fine. It's like, yeah, what's the big deal? We're out here having a good time.